For my MSN, I am making nature fossils. So I'm walking to my local park. It's right beside a school and it has a lot of trees and just a lot of greenery. So we're going to see what we can find over there. So there's a school right over here, and then the park. You just walk all the way to the end, and then you can walk down the park on the left. So here is all of the space that we can use to gather our materials. So here are just some of the things that I found while on my walk. It's really important to remind yourself as well as the children that we have to respect the earth and the nature that it provides us. Some of the things like the blades of grass and the clover, I wasn't too concerned about just because pulling one blade of grass or one clover isn't really putting that much impact on the earth, but just to be mindful that you are respecting the nature. So now we're going to be taking everything we collected and go back to create our fossils. So here I'm just laying out all the materials that we found while on our walk, plus the other materials that we'll need to make our fossils, such as the clay and the cup that we'll need to make the shape of our fossils. So here I'm just rolling out the dough into a ball and just preparing it to make the disc shape that we'll need. So I'm just using the palms of my hands and trying my best not to get fingerprints or things like that onto the clay to make sure that the prints of our nature materials really stick out. So I'm just making it into a disc, and then I'll be using the cup to cut out the shapes. So initially the cup didn't work, so I just used the lid of a container to cut them out, but anything that has a sharp enough edge to cut the clay will work perfectly. This is the first disc I made, and I am using the leftover clay from the previous disc to start on the next and then continuing on. So here are all the cutout discs, and I'm just placing just some different plants and things that we found while on our walk into the clay and pushing them down to make sure that we can make the imprint onto the clay. And once you've let the clay sit a little bit and let it dry, you are going to peel off the plants and the items that you use to see our nature fossils. Here are all of the fossils that are complete, and now we're just going to wait the next day to let them dry. And this one I'm just poking a hole inside to turn it into like a little ornament. So now it's the next day and we are going to paint our fossils. So for the fossils, since they're all dry, it's a perfect time to paint them. And I will be using a lot of different colors, but I wanted to focus on colors that we see outside, especially in the fall time. So I did some greens, and I did yellow and red, and I also did one gold. But the children can choose whichever colors they like, and sometimes you can even encourage or let them mix colors to see all the different colors that they could create out of the paints and use those to paint their fossil. For this gold one, I am just using some twine to thread through the hole we made the other day, to turn it into maybe like an ornament of some sort, a wall hanging, just to make the fossil a little more versatile. And here are all of our finished nature fossils. Thank you so much for watching.